Sometimes Trump is so reckless, he doesn't even realize that many of the things that he say can kind of take toll on things. I think he just don't realize it as much as he should. And he made a comment yesterday, y'all, and the dollar actually dipped. This came out on CNBC July 3rd, 2019. He said that the US should play currency manipulation game like Europe and China. And right after he said that, the dollar took a dip. Mm. So the greenback, and if some of you don't follow, the financial market, that's what they call the American dollar. They call it the greenback. Fell Wednesday after Trump said in a tweet, he's always out there on Twitter, ain't he? Yeah, that's where he's the most destructive, out on Twitter. So he tweeted that the US should match China and Europe currency manipulation game. China and Europe playing a big currency manipulation game and pumping money into their system in order to compete with the US. Trump said on Twitter, we should match or continue being the dummies who sit back and politely watch as other countries continue to play their games, as they have for many years. The US dollar index, a basket of the greenbacks versus major currencies, slid into the red following the Trump tweet before recovering. So here's his tweet. Donald J. Trump. China and Europe playing big currency manipulation game and pumping money into their system in order to compete with the USA. We should match or continue being the dummies who sit back and politely watch as other countries continue to play their games as they have for many years. So he sent that out on July 3rd, 2019 at 10:21 a.m. He's amplifying a move that to me is happening anyway for the right reasons. So this is just a strategist talking. It's pretty clear the currency is definitely a focus. You have some new Fed nominees which will lean on the dovish side. You have the Feds already to cut rates. You have a slowing U.S. economy, McCormick said. There's a period here where the currency is going to weaken on those things. Yeah, he's right about that. The president's attack on what he views as unfair tinkering by China and Europe came less than 2 months after the administration declined to label China a currency manipulator. That decision came despite Trump's complaint that Beijing unfairly devalues its currency, contributing to the outstanding trade deficit between the world's two largest economies. Do you know, I was looking at an article last night. The Chinese workers are rebelling, y'all. They are rebelling. They work from 9 in the morning to 9 at night, 6 days a week. That's how they work them in China. And the people are now getting real tired over there, and they're starting to rise up and rebel against the working conditions and the hours they have to work. They're starting to rebel. You remember the US gave all their jobs to them, and that's how they've been working, those Chinese people, for years. They work with what they call 996. 9 to 9, 6 days a week. That's pretty jacked up. I don't care where you work on this planet to work those kind of hours. But yeah, the people are now starting to rise up against that in China. And they're, expressing how unhappy they are with the working conditions there. So China look like they may have a problem on their hands, a major one, especially if your workforce is now saying, I had enough of working like this. Oh yeah. I'm gonna keep my eye on China because that's gonna get real interesting if those folks start rising up and fighting back and refusing to work like that anymore. The Treasury Department, led by Secretary Steve Mnuchin, said in May that no country met the criteria to be formally considered as one seeking to gain unfair trade advantages over the U.S. by toying with its currency. But the report also said that 9 nations, including China, Germany, Ireland, Italy, and Japan, are on the monitoring list. The Treasury Department did not immediately respond to CNBC's request for comment. Chinese officials in 2018 reintroduced measures to stabilize its managed currency aimed at keeping the yuan daily midpoint fixed to a relatively stable value. China has faced international pressure in the past for what other world leaders considered unfair manipulation of its currency. A devalued currency can boost one's nation exports as the decline in the currency makes the country's goods cheaper. So, I don't know, y'all. At this point, Trump will go out there and say something and end up crashing the damn economy the way things look. And this is not the first time he's been out on Twitter saying things and it has made an impact on the global market. It has happened before and it will happen again. And this is why I say no president, no sitting president should be out on social media like that. You run the risk of a security breach or divulging information that should not be spoken about online. There are some things that the public don't need to know. And Trump is a very reckless person. He just, you just don't know what's going to come out of his mouth or even come from him on Twitter. And we've seen that time and time again as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't be surprised about anything. You would think, he would be out there, at least talk about what's going on in California with the earthquake and some of the things that are happening in the US instead of talking about the dollar dipping. But we shall see. We shall see. There are so many active things going on right now in the country. And, well, Trump is not big on consoling a country. We've seen that through the mass shootings in the past and other disastrous things that have happened in the country. He doesn't say much, just like the Hurricane Michael situation. Trump don't say too much. He doesn't say too much of anything. And I haven't heard him say anything real big in regards to the recent earthquake. We're used to presidents coming out almost immediately and making a statement, and we get the exact opposite from Trump. He's very slow to come out, and sometimes he doesn't come out at all and say very much, or if he does say something, it's like a little one liner and he's done with it. So he's not going to bring a country together. We already see that. But please tell me what you think about him being out on the social media, out on Twitter, running his mouth, and he caused the dollar to dip. Expect more from that. More of that from Trump in the near future. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.